Right, and we are recording. What's good, everybody? Back with another one, another installment of A Dub and Wild My MMA. Had some crazy fights last night, man. UFC 284. First, the big fight, obviously, Islam versus Volkanovski. But there was another title fight, interim title fight between Yair Rodriguez and Josh Emmett, which it went a little differently. I didn't think it was going to go that way. Like, again, Josh Emmett, we know what he can do. He can wrestle a little bit, but he's got that power right hand, and that's all that he had. Just load up, and then he got tired, and then Yair does what he does.
Oh, I had already knew Yair was going to destroy him. Like that was an interesting fight to me. I have been saying Yair deserved the title shot after the Ortega fight. When they announced that fight, I was like, yeah, that's going to be an easy day for Yair because he destroys anybody who just throws bombs at him. He's too elusive for him.
I thought he was going to be able to catch him because he did. He hit him, like he caught him a couple times, and I thought it was just going to put him out. But now Yair, he definitely showed like he's got a chin and just go ahead, like it's what was it like Bull in the Matador. He was just rushing in, loading up with that right, back up, counter 1-2. Then he was just hitting him with some crazy strikes. I wanted to see him do one of his like crazy flip kicks, like what was it, the one that the Rolling Thunder and stuff.
I think he was locked in for this fight. He was he was in with like my friends. Somebody, I think you probably pointed it out that he was just like he was about to throw one of those fucking.
Yeah, he was about. You saw he turned his hips and was about to throw it, but yeah, he just was like, all right.
Let this man fight. But yeah, that was a good fight. The number one fight, of course, was Volk versus Islam, which we could say that lived up to the hype of what it was supposed to be. I think the crowd probably made that fight a lot better than it. I'm not gonna say it seemed, but yeah,
because the crowd pops.
Yeah, so but that was I think number one versus number two. That's pretty much what you expected, even though them motherfuckers are definitely more than one weight class apart.
When they first got out there, I was like, bruh, Volk looks tiny. Like, I was like, my man looks tiny compared to Islam. Islam is a big dude, but you could tell that weight cut messed with him. Like, at the weigh-ins, he looked sick. When he was walking in, like, I don't know if he was nervous because Khabib wasn't there or what, but he looked nervous. Even when they were about to, like, when they came into the center of the octagon, he looked a little nervous. But yeah, it was a good fight. Like you said, the crowd, because the crowd reacted to everything that Volk did, and I mean, and then Volk even acknowledging every time that Islam hit him, which I think hurt him when it comes to the judges. But yeah, like it was a good fight. It like when you said it was like lived up to what people thought. I actually think it didn't. I feel like it lived up. But it was better because I feel like everyone thought that Islam was just going to do what Islam does. Take him down, hold him down, grind out the decision, which he did take him down. He couldn't hold him down and Volk won rounds. And in my opinion, if they would have said split decision Volk, I wouldn't have like flipped out and like, oh, it was a robbery. And I don't think it was a robbery either, like for Islam to win. But 49-46 is crazy.
Yeah, that was probably the worst card of the night. Not worst card. That was probably the worst scorecard of the night, clearly. But I kind of already knew Volk wasn't going to get held down. He's too compact. It's particularly when it comes to the way that the Dagestani dudes wrestle, where they need control of body parts and they need to be able to control your legs, and they don't want to allow you to be explosive. Volk is always going to be he's always going to be a hard fight for dudes like that to win against. It's the same reason Ortega couldn't get him out of there. And then he doesn't have a neck. So it's like
then it's just also like, I mean, well, because it's just, it's always like, oh, I'll be the one that'll be able to stop that, or I'll be able to defend it. And then they get in there with them and they're like, bruh, these Dagestan, like, I thought I was, but I can't get up. Like, they're different type of strong. But Volk's like, nah, bro. Like, and at the end of the day, when you used to be like a 200 and something pound rugby player on that short frame, it does something to you. Like, he's just got weird strength. Like, so when he was getting up, I wasn't surprised. It's just funny because it played out to what we thought when it comes to like what Volk said, like, yeah, he'll take me down. And then what happens when you can't keep me down? And then he was getting some reversals. And then obviously we saw that fifth round. Like, so how did you have it going into the fifth?
I had a 2-2.
2-2.
I thought Volk won. I think I gave Islam round 1. I gave Volk round 2. I think I gave Volk round 3, and I also gave Islam round 4. The only problem I have, and I kind of understand why Islam won, was the fact that takedowns at the end of the round, and even though they don't cause damage, they look bad. It's one of the reasons
Yeah.
I gave Yon the Sean O'Malley fight. Like, it's one of the
Yeah.
reasons I gave Fury on it, because even if we're this close and I take you down, even if it's only for a minute and we don't do any much damage, I still was able to take you down, and I was able to put pressure on you on top and go after
Yeah.
submissions and stuff. But yeah, either way, I wasn't upset about it. I just didn't like the 49-46 card.
Yeah, the 49, that really bothered me. When they said it, I was like, and if I just, because I rewatched it, if you look at Volk when they're announcing it, they're both like, looking like, all right. And then they said 49-46, and you see him go, like that guy, he knew right then, like, okay, because there's no way they gave me 40. Like, I feel like he knew they didn't give him a 49-46, but it shouldn't have been 49-46 for either of them. But it was a good fight. I was impressed with Islam striking a little more. I mean, he was landing. I mean, he hit Volk with some knees, had some good body kicks. Was getting with that left. He was countering. He looked good.
He used one of the most underrated techniques in MMA, which is a tie clinch. A lot of people don't use a tie clinch. Is like, because I train Muay Thai and kickboxing, so significantly particularly with taller fighters. If you're a taller fighter, if you can get a tie clinch on somebody in a good one, it's really, really hard to break. So I was surprised by the fact that he used a good tie clinch. The only Dagestani dude we've seen with the wrestling background, because you have dudes like Saeed Nurmagomedov, who I believe is like Habib's cousin. He's more dynamic when it comes to the striking, but in terms of those wrestling style Dagestani dudes, the only one we've not seen any of them just have good striking. Majority of them just use their striking to be good enough in order to chase takedowns. So I was really surprised by the tie clinch, the jabs, the hooks, and a lot of times he was
his counter left was nice.
Yeah, man. So yeah, Islam. I think we kind of underrated Islam's striking and overrated how good his wrestling is. Well, his jiu-jitsu, which I was always somebody who I told people, even from the Oliveira fight, he had 4 minutes of ground control on Oliveira and didn't sub him. Like, I get it's Oliveira, but at the same time, anytime we've seen one of those Dagestani dudes get that type of pressure on you, they usually end with a submission, man. So yeah, man. But
because I was talking to somebody and it was like, well, one thing that let me know about this fight, he's definitely not Khabib, because if Khabib is on Volk's back like that, I feel like he gets a submission. Or some of the positions that he had Volk in, like I feel like if that's Khabib, like this shit is over. But that's that's what we saw. I mean, maybe Volk does the same thing, because honestly, I feel like Islam's bigger than Khabib. Like Khabib is bigger as in weight. Like he look like 2 something right now himself, but just like the side, like when you see Islam's back,
Islam's a thick boy. He's
like that's a big dude.
Yeah, that's a thick boy. But I also said that last night when somebody responded, they was like, "Do you like?" Somebody commented on one of the ESPN posts, "Do you believe that Islam is better than Khabib?" And I literally just laughed. I was like, if Khabib has 7 minutes of ground control time, you're probably dead. You're probably dead.
I mean, your face gonna look a lot different. He ain't gonna look like that. He's not gonna put it this way. Volk ain't gonna be doing this, smiling. That's not happening.
I also believe that's another thing that just goes against it. Like, and I don't want to like make it seem like Islam was trash this fight. Like, he fought an amazing fight. It's just that I think a lot of the crazy hype that we have for the Dagestani dudes are just unbeatable with the wrestling has kind of come down now, because it's like, oh, there's actual fighters out here who can not only put up a fight against this, but arguably win against this. You just might also have to be the number 1 pound for pound best fighter.
That too. And then it's just like, well, what are we basing that off of? We're basing it off of Khabib and Islam. Now, show me another one of the Dagestanis that just full on dominates like they do. I mean, there's some, they get takedowns.
Have you seen the Bellator brother?
I have not. Well, hold on, wait. Which one is it? Because he just won the belt, didn't he?
Yeah, the Bellator brother is the best
there's
one
3.
out of all of them. The Bellator brother.
But you know what I'm saying though, like how we're saying, like if Khabib had 7 minutes of control time, that fight is over 4 minutes ago. Like I just feel like people see Khabib and see Islam, and they're like, all these Dagestanis are just, it's over if they get you on the ground. Which with them two, usually it is. And yes, they train that. All of them are good on the ground, but like you said, it's not unbeatable. I mean, shit, Islam got slept. Like, you can catch him. Like,
I mean, a lot of people haven't seen the Arman Tsarukyan fight either between Islam Makhachev and Arman Tsarukyan, who I think is ranked like number 7 in the lightweight division right now. Arman's one of my favorite fighters.
Yeah.
That if those two ever run into each other again, I would take Arman in that fight because Arman is a better striker now than he was then. And now I think he also took that fight on like a week's notice to fight
Yeah.
Islam Makhachev, and he was like, it was a really close fight, man. But yeah, last night's fight were amazing. Like I said, I don't want to underrate how good Islam is because I think like he still is probably one of the 5 best fighters in the world currently.
Yeah,
Like,
for sure. I
I
mean,
don't wanna
like I feel like Volk has the best chance to beat him. Like if he fights, I mean, he can fight Poirier, but I feel like Poirier's good. But like, remember what even Islam said here is like, he's a black belt in jiu-jitsu. He's like, who give him this black belt? Like, I haven't seen Poirier do something that made me go, oh, he's a legit black belt. Like, he has, he can control you a little bit, but it's like, I don't know, man. Like some of those black belts, it's like I feel like they are kind of just getting. You got that online, didn't you?
We'll talk about that one day. The jiu-jitsu thing, particularly in MMA, is you can be a black belt in gi jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean shit in MMA. Like it just doesn't. Like I've trained a little jiu-jitsu. A lot of times in jiu-jitsu, if I'm a purple belt and you're a black belt, but I'm stronger than you, I know positions better than you, and I also know hand control better than you. You're just in a fucked up position, and also it's a lot of things you can't do with jits and MMA.
Yeah, well then the striking comes in, so it's like,
but yeah, there's a couple dudes. Like one, I don't think Islam's going up anytime soon because if you imagine Khamzat Chimaev versus Islam Makhachev right now,
I think Khamzat would eat that man.
Imagine Kamaru Usman versus
Khamzat. I feel like they not beat him easily, but what, you're gonna take them? Like, okay, take them down. You're if Volk's getting up, they're getting up, and they're probably taking you down. Low key.
Not only are they taking you down, they send you to the shadow rim, dog. Because he was getting cracked by Volk. But
Volk, man, I thought he had it, man. I thought he did. I definitely thought he had it.
Like I said, I thought he won the fight. I'm not mad that Islam won the fight. The deciding round to me was the second round, which is whether you count volume or pressure and damage. Like which one of those are more important to you? I think one was Islam. 2, I gave it a vote. 3 gave it a vote, and then 4 was
pull up the stats from the fight. But well, and then another thing though is just like I mean, yeah, he took him down, but then it's like I'm gonna find the stats. It's, I mean, like because it's supposed to be round by round, which obviously that's how it goes. But
the funniest part of the fight to me was that like Volk outstruck that man in the 4th round from his back, bro. Like the fact he really was just like punching him. And he's just like screaming, which is again, that's one of my pet peeves. Is just like I don't want to say landing praying because it's not landing praying, but if you're getting outstruck by a dude from who you have his back, bro,
that means you're not doing anything. Yeah, that means you're literally just backpacking him. Like you're not doing anything.
Which Habib, I'm not Habib. Which I think Bisping even pointed out in the commentary. He was like, this is a position they're just both stalled in, and you're not going to choke them out from that position. At a certain point, you have to stand those two dudes up, man. But
yeah.
Good
I'm
fight,
trying to find like the striking totals because I see the scorecard, but that's not what I'm looking for. I'm trying to see the total strikes and takedowns and everything landed.
I think what 7 takedowns? But again,
what
do you count as a takedown? Or if you getting me to one knee or you getting me on my back, what's the difference between takedown, the damage that you do with takedown? MMA scoring is just like the wildly most inconsistent thing. It's just the most inconsistent thing, man. So, but
I mean, because like I said, it's like you get points for takedowns, but you pop right back up. You didn't do anything with it. So like how shouldn't the person that stopped the takedown or got right back up, shouldn't that count for something? And then it's like, okay, there was a part in the fight where Volk threw a combo and then he leg sweeps Islam. Islam hits the ground and then he drops onto him and grabs his neck for like a second. What's the difference of getting taken down and then getting back up and then getting a trip, laying on him real quick and then getting back up? Like, okay, but it didn't count for a takedown. Yeah, so I don't know, man.
But good fight. Really excited to see Volk's probably going to fight with Yair next, and then we also have Islam looking like he's going to get probably the winner of Oliveira versus Dariush, which would be another good fight. Islam before this fight was talking about moving up to 170 to try to challenge for that title. That's not happening anytime soon. Unless Kobe Covington somehow gets that belt, that's probably the only dude in that top 5 of that division I think he would beat.
Yeah.
And
well, then it's just like if he would have beat Volk, like clearly, then maybe you could be like, yeah, like, defend it one time, then move up or something. But it's like, you almost lost to a 45er, bro. I don't think you want to go up there yet. And then I also think with Dariush, I wouldn't have taken that fight with Charles. I wouldn't have accepted it because he was already supposed to fight Islam, and that fight fell out. And he's what is he on, an 8-fight win streak or something? And like
it's crazy, something crazy, like 7-8.
He looks good. Like Dariush has been winning. He's looking good. I feel like I'm sitting out. I want the winner. Like I want the winner of the Volk Islam fight. But whatever. Like a lot of these dudes really mean it. Like I don't care. I just want to fight because at the end of the day, if you feel like you're the best and you're the champ, or you can be the champ, then you fight anybody because it shouldn't matter. Like, okay, yeah, wait for the belt. Why would I do that when I know I can beat this dude and still get the belt? And I'm going to make some money while doing it because I love fighting. But I think he should have sat out, waited, and then got that title shot against Islam.
That's going to be a crazy fight. And if he loses that fight, I'm going to feel bad for him. Because he was the only dude that really stepped up. Him and RDA were the only two dudes that were calling Islam out when he was like the boogeyman of that division.
And that's what's messed up because it's probably gonna happen. Like I feel like it always happens like that when it's like, bro, if you chill, you can get a title shot. They take a fight and they lose, and then they're like, oh well, I just what I mean. They got the excuse like, I don't want to back down from any challenge, but they know in the back of their head they're like, damn, I shouldn't have took that fight.
Yeah, but appreciate y'all for watching this one, man. We got some more content coming this week.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate y'all for watching us rant. See y'all in the next one.
Watching the two brothers MMA. We're still coming up with a catchier name. the black guys MMA. But yeah, appreciate y'all watching. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe, and we'll see y'all on the next one. Peace.